how you can improve your life and business by implementing biblical principles into your thinking and everyday money management strategies and activities. I understand that it can be easy to forget that, the love of money, not money itself, is the root of all evil when there are so many different opinions on creating wealth through business, debt, budgeting, spending, and money management. But if you are faith focused entrepreneur, say that fast 3 times, right? You are definitely not exempt from feeling overwhelmed or struggling with how to give, keep, save, and grow your money. See, either you're a good steward with your money, or you're struggling with it, or you're facing like that challenge of handling money properly. And that's what we want to talk to you about tonight. That's what we want to help you with. So make sure you grab a pen, grab a paper. My name is Cathy McReynolds, and if you are open to building a business, growing your business, and you want to do that with biblical principles, you have found yourself in the right place. I want to say welcome out. As you come on, say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from so that we can say hello back to you. Also, let us know which channel are you watching us on, but most importantly, let us know about your business. Drop it in the comments, and if you're catching this during the live or replay, we definitely want to hear about that from both ends. And guys, as we always do me a favor, grab your phones out, and if you can go ahead and hit that share button for me so that we can get this shared out to as many people as possible. And what's exciting with you? How is biz as we enter into this next quarter of the day? That's funny. Let me see. So as we're talking here, I'm looking at our page, and I'm sharing out to different pages, and we're also trying different systems and stuff like that. So you always got to be testing. You always got to be testing, and I'm just laughing at myself that I see that we are on my page about 3 or 4 times, but we'll fix that later. So as you guys come on, just say hello, 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 so we can say hello back to you. And I'm excited about this topic for today because money is a big challenge for so many people, and we want to be able to help you to take care of that. You don't want money to choke you up and always have you struggling and wondering and all of that stuff. So we're going to work with you on that and help you be able to change it. I'm going to share this to one more place, and then we're going to go ahead and get everything started, y'all. Who's excited today? Because I am. All right. We're done with all the sharing. I'm going to switch over to the other screen. And, if you have a comment, make sure you go ahead and leave it. But just know I can't even see your comments until we get back to the end. But we always come back and we always get those answered for you. So as I said, we're going to talk about the secret to successful money management from a biblical perspective. And today, y'all, we're coming to you from Deuteronomy 8:18. It says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant, which He swore to your ancestors as it is today." So it is not about you nor your ability, and the reason God gives it to you, we're going to talk about that today. So I want to thank you for joining us today for another, as I call it, irresistible message from our Kingdom Business Workshop series provided by Bible Business Academy. You can go over to BibleBusinessAcademy.com if you want to learn more about our global organization. I am your host, Cathy McReynolds, and we transform entrepreneurs into kingdom leaders with the sole purpose of growing the kingdom and fulfilling God's original purpose. And we believe that this message will equip you to grow in your faith and finances while advancing your life and business as you discover your purpose and pursue it with passion. So y'all ready to get this started? And as I said earlier today, y'all, we're going to talk about how you can improve your life and business by implementing biblical principles into your thinking and your everyday money management activities. And it's so easy to forget the love of money, not money itself is the root of all evil. And so that key sentence is the love of money. And not money itself is the root of all evil, when there are so many different opinions that you hear out there on creating wealth through business, through debt, through budgeting, through spending, and through money management. See, being a kingdom entrepreneur, it absolutely does not exempt you from feeling overwhelmed or struggling with how to get, give, keep, save, and grow your money. Either you're a good steward with your money, or you face a tremendous struggle on how to handle that money properly. And because it can be challenging to translate money management into practical and biblical actions, we're going to share tonight how you can develop a personal management philosophy. And that's something you definitely want to have. If you already have a personal management philosophy, drop that in the comments. Let us know what that is. If this is a new concept to you and you're like, what are you talking about, girl? Let us know that as well. And when you look at balancing the practical giving, saving, and investing, and you put it all with biblical principles, I promise you it will take your life to a new level. So we're going to be sharing 5 or more biblical principles about money and so much more that will help you be able to grow in your finances. And I want you to write this down and meditate on Deuteronomy 8:18. Like, just read the entire chapter. I think it's 18 and 19, or it could be 17, 18, 19, but just read it. Just reread it so you can get an in-depth of what we're talking. And it says again, but remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth and so confirms His covenant. His covenant is about what He wants, which He swore to your ancestors as it is today, our ancestors. Make sure you stick around to the end, y'all, because we want to share with you a proven system for launching a 6-figure plus business with biblical principles. And I also want to share with you how you can get some free resources that we can send right to your front door, and why it will help you grow in your faith, your finances. And I'm telling you, when you have that life, you're so full of joy that God gives us, that you get to have more fun, more freedom, and more fulfillment. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to say, hey, y'all, I am from Akron, Ohio. I always joke and say I grew up shy, sheltered in church basically 6 days a week. My mom was a minister, dad a football coach. I left home at the age of 19, lived in the DC area, Baltimore, Boston, Pittsburgh. We got anybody from those areas? And of course, Ohio. So let me know in the comments where you are residing at, or where did you used to live? What was your favorite place that you lived at? Where did you spend a lot of money at? I am an author, an international coach and trainer, introvert who loves to win. Not perfect, y'all, by any means necessary, but we do take action. Auntie to many, licensed financial advisor, and I've made and lost money in several businesses. And so that's why we want to take the knowledge that we have and be able to help you and shorten that learning curve. And we want to also share with you to go pick up a copy of our book. It's called Bible Business Secrets. You can get it on Amazon. You get it on Amazon, or if you go to Bible Business Business Academy /book, we actually will send you a free copy. You just got to cover the shipping on that. And you can also pick up a copy of our planner, so you can keep everything organized for yourself. You can get that on Amazon, or you can go to believeandgrowrich.org and pick up yourself a copy of this. If you go to believeandgrowrich.org, we'll give you 25% off of that Amazon price. And y'all, we come here every Thursday with our Kingdom Business Workshop to give you knowledge and information on building your business and how you can implement the biblical principles in there. But we don't want to leave you there. So we want you to, learn more about our memberships and our academies or our done for you programs, and you can join in those if you are that membership type person and you want to be around other like-minded people and do it with biblical principles, business and life and all of that stuff, money all added in. Our bronze self-guided one might be best for you. That's where you can take the guesswork out of winning with business online. That's for that person who is super busy and they just want to go online, take some classes and courses and meet maybe once a month. Or you can do the Silver Success Solution and connect with other faith like-minded business owners who understand challenges, hold you accountable, and encourage you to reach your goals. So whether we're locally or online, we meet on a more frequent basis and really help take you through the steps of your marketing and your mission and all of that stuff as well. And our elite of it is our Go to Elite Leadership, where you can be that leader that God is calling you. You want to really take your life and your business to that next level. And you want to do that with direct faith leadership coaching. That's the one that you want to definitely go to. But you can learn about them all at BibleBusinessAcademy.com/membership. Or if you know that you want a consultant or coaching or course business, then the BibleBusinessAcademy.com/go. That is your best bet to go to that one. Or if you don't want to do any of that and you want it all done for you, you can go to our Kingdom Management Enterprise System at BibleBusinessAcademy.com and just give us a call and we'll talk to you about that one. So let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. And I want to start it with a question for you. And if you could do me a favor and drop your answer in the comments. What is the kingdom purpose for resources and money in your opinion? In your opinion, what is the kingdom purpose for resource and money? Like, let me know, even if you're catching this during the replay, let me know the answer to that question. And, I'm always curious as to what people think. And whenever we ask, questions like this, we always get a multitude of different answers. And that's the one great thing about doing things with biblical principles or having a set system to do something, especially with biblical principles. God answers never change. It is always the same. It's just that your understanding and revelation of it is different. And that's why we're here to help you with that. So you will learn some kingdom secrets and principles that have been used with the help of biblical principles to help you eliminate debt and money worries and be detached from the world system. You want, as it says, you want to be in this world, but not of this world, right? And that's what we want to help you with. See, the myth of kingdom wealth. There's so many things out there that a lot of people think, religion has done just a disservice to God, in my personal opinion, because it is either that fearmonger or they're telling you must be poor, go sell everything, get rid of everything. And if you make money, you're going to hell. And, people approach you and it's always like, it's, as Jesus said, standing on the corner and being that loud person that just detract people away from them. They repel people because of all of these conditions that they put on them. And so that's why we want to be able to share the love and joy of God and being in his kingdom and the wealth that he will bring to you, but for you to use for his purposes. See, so many people misunderstand prosperity. People even think it's a sin to be rich. And perhaps many people have been brainwashed to think this way due to many false prophets, ministers, or trying to take money from God's people. I mean, yes, bad people are out there who claim to be representing God. It's part of it. That's why you have to do your due diligence, right? And regardless, though, y'all, of what people do, God never changes. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he is not going to change his plan concerning us because of the mistakes or shortcomings of others. So don't let that stop you from becoming who you were born to become, and being proud that you could serve God and sharing that with people, and they see it by your walk, your faith, and your light. Someone in this center asked me, what do I do? And I said, oh, I help people build businesses through biblical principles. And she's like, oh, is that why you're always so nice? And I'm sharing that with you because it was kind of like well, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah. And that's what you want. You want people to see the God within you at all times. That's the whole key, because when they see that, not what you say, but what you do, they'll be attracted to you. See, the original purpose and plan was to extend the kingdom to earth. And so we got to start understanding the original purpose of the kingdom and why, because that's what Jesus talked about, right? And when he was here, he said the kingdom, he talked about the kingdom, and heaven, y'all, is a wealthy place. So if you don't like wealth, if you don't like the best of the best of life, then you don't want to go to heaven. Because if you got streets of gold in heaven, then you're not going to be comfortable with that, right? So get comfortable with it now, and make it a point to learn and do your research, listen in on what we're talking about, but then go beyond that. Take your time and do your studying as well. Never take anyone's word for it. Let's talk about the colony. See, the kingdom is wealthy, and it has a colony, and the colony is to reflect the nature of the kingdom. See, the purpose of colonization is to extend the kingdom's influence to a foreign territory. So I want you to get a clear picture, because if your thinking is wrong, your life is wrong. And if your thinking is right, your life will begin to line up with your thinking. And I want to share with you how you think, what you should be thinking about, but most importantly, what you want to go do the researching on and ask God for. See, I don't pursue wealth, nor do I seek money. And I don't want you to pursue wealth, nor do I want you to seek money. Because in Matthew 6:33, it says, but seek first his kingdom. See, people miss that part, right? And its righteousness, and all things will be given to you as well. See, all they really hear is, and all things will be given to you as well. But it says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. So if where you go to church, or what you read, or what you think, or what you listen to, if they're not talking to you about the kingdom, how can you seek it first? It says Matthew 6:33, but seek first his kingdom. And that's what this is all about. And his righteousness. Seek kingdom and righteousness, and then all things will be given to you as well. Because in the kingdom, there is wealth, joy, love, peace. All of that is in the kingdom, and that's why you have to seek it. And by watching this is a one way of seeking it. The best way is to get into the word, and then allow the Holy Spirit to be able to help you to do that. And I want to share just a little bit about the kingdom culture, so that you can get this. See, wealth is part of the kingdom culture. It's just part of it. You must understand that it's okay to be wealthy. No one is poor in the kingdom. Now, people may be poor in their pockets because they don't understand, but there is no one poor in the kingdom. There's no poverty in the kingdom. There is no sadness in the kingdom, and everyone works to carry out God's will in the kingdom. So what's that, like Tulupa, like that show that they had? Oh, the Chocolate Factory show. I'm thinking of the Chocolate Factory show, where everybody's happy, in the Chocolate Factory show, or on the North Pole, when all Santa's little elves and everybody is happy there, right? I want you to take those make-believe places, and I want you to think of them and think of the kingdom, because everyone is happy there. Everyone is wealthy there. It's like your best little Lifetime TV show that you're watching of, Christmas, or the the chocolate factory, when the moments when everyone is happy, that is the kingdom culture. Now, wouldn't you want to be a part of, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? See, if you change your thinking, you will change your life. And that's the way I think now, and that's the way I want you to think. It is not the way that I always thought, but it's not until you start diving into the word over and over again and you get the traditions and what people have, learned from generation after generation after generation and put into you. You got to get all of that out, and you got to seek the kingdom and righteousness for yourself first. That is the key to everything in life, because he said, and all things will be added into you. So here's the concept of the colony. If the kingdom is colonized, the territory will reflect the nature of that kingdom. Just like, I just talked about, I just thought of that, the chocolate factory or the elves and Santa Claus up there, the nature of that, those places reflect the location that they're in. So it's like Puerto Rico reflects the United States and the way we live, the way we eat, the way we drink, think, and do business. It's a culture. It's a system. If a kingdom is wealthy like heaven, the colony of the people on the planet that represent that kingdom is supposed to be reflected of the kingdom. If you are an elf, where are you reflected of? You're reflected of being in the Santa Claus kingdom, right? If you are a little bunny, you're reflected of being in the Easter bunny. If you're the Wani Wonka little chocolate, I don't even know what you call those people, but you are reflected of being there. That is no different from being in the kingdom. They know they're not wealthy for themselves. They know that they're not fixing the little toys for themselves to boast and to brag and say, look what I got, I'm so special and all of that stuff. They know, I hope you guys are hearing me. They know that in the kingdom, if a kingdom is wealthy like heaven, the colony of the people on that planet they represent, the kingdom is supposed to be reflective of that. They know they are not wealthy for them to boast, y'all, or for them to brag, or for them to talk about, this is what I have and it's all about me. That is not the concept of creating wealth. So if that's in your mind, that it's all about you and you're having it for you, then that's what we want you to eliminate and get rid of. See, I'm going to share a kingdom wealth principle with you. If you start thinking this way, you will come out of debt and out of lack of a mindset. And see, when I said that, I thought about that because, I don't know, for 25 some years, I was a financial advisor. So one of the things that we did is we help people eliminate their debt, and we also help them create financial freedom by little certain principles and stuff. Now, I've always had that biblical background, but not like we do today. And it worked just by showing them principles that they could use. But when you take and you put biblical principles with that and the way that God wants it done for the kingdom, I promise you, it takes your thinking and your life to a whole new level. See, wealth is the personal property of the king. Wealth is the personal property of the king. And no one owns anything. The king owns everything. If you just get that in your mind, like you don't own nothing, you just there and you're excited that you're there. You're grateful that you're there. So the lands, the animals, the forests, the waters, the money, the property, and the people, everything in the kingdom is the personal property of the king. So if you have that mindset that everything belongs to the king, even that 90%, so if you tithe and get 10%, or if you don't, whatever the case is, that's all part of the kingdom. It is not yours. You're just that person to be able to use the resources that you were getting to be able to acquire all of that. And if you didn't catch our management principles, make sure you go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and catch that and watch that, and just Go back and check all of that out so you can see what we're talking about, because I covered those on part 1 and part 2 of the management series. See, it's important, y'all, for the wealth principle, because if you don't get this point, you will continue to chase money. Let me repeat that. You will continue to chase money. So if you find your mind chasing money, going after money, pursuing material things, and competing with others, that's an indication that you're not operating by the kingdom principles. And trust me, I've been there before, okay? Doing it this way is so much peace, so much joy, and life will begin to change for you. So that's what we want to help you do. And so I want you to adopt this kingdom wealth principle that you own nothing. And I got some scriptures here. You can just take a screenshot of it, or if you're catching it during a replay, pause these and then begin to study. This is just some of hundreds of scriptures that you can find out there, but here's a few that will help you in that thinking, and all thy getteth understanding. And so this is a way to get understanding by reading, seeing, saying, hearing. Harvard even did a study and said if you read, write, hear, say, and see something at least 6 times in a row, you'll get about 62% retention on it. So as you read the scriptures and the words and you meditate it, even the scripture says you meditate on my word day and night, you'll begin to understand these concepts and have those aha moments. And when you do, just let us know about that. In 1 Corinthians 10:26, it said, the earth is the Lord's and all it contains. I mean, like that right there, we can stop. We don't even have to go any further. It says the earth is Lord and all it contains. So boom, there it is. Right there. We didn't even have to go in further. I'm going to share some more with you. Haggai 2:8 says, the silver is mine, the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. Just in case you didn't think that was contained in the earth. Psalm 50:10, for every beast of the forest is mine, the cattle of 1,000 hills. People always say, oh yeah, they'll quote that scripture, but they're renting or they're not in a position to change their life because they don't understand these principles and things here. And that's what we're all working to change. And together, y'all, we can make this happen and change this world. Acts 2:44 says, and all those who have believed were together and had all things in common. 1 Chronicles 29:12, both riches and honors come from you, and you rule over all. Do you hear that? You rule over all, and in your hand is power and might, and it lies in your hand to make great and to strengthen everyone. To strengthen everyone. This is like, these are the things that I really, really, really want you to hear. Money and resources and everything here is to strengthen everyone, to bring joy to everyone, to help everyone. That's the purpose of the kingdom. No person, you know how they say in the army, no man left behind. God started that, right? Nobody left behind, but you got to want it. That's the beauty of him. He won't force you to do this. You have to want it. So when you're building your business and you apply these concepts, because business is not for the faint at heart, right? We were having our sales meeting this morning, and I was taking them on a journey of some of the stuff that we had been through, just to paint the picture, to let them know that there's a season of sacrifice that you have to go through. And everybody says the faith will bring you got all these movements out here, faith, but they forget about the works part, right? Not the works of your salvation, but the works to do and work the land that we will put here. And I promise you, go back and check out those management principles from the last week and a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen those, check them out on YouTube, or you can be watching this 10 years later. Make sure that you go and check that out. Leviticus 25:23 says, the land, moreover, shall not be sold permanently, for the land is mine. Right? So you can sell it, you can buy it, and you think you own it, but you don't. It is not yours. I have a house, I don't own it, right? That land is not yours. You don't own it. You just temporarily taken over it, right? That's it. It's not yours. It says, for the land is mine, for you are but aliens and soldiers with me, right? So God said it, right? I didn't say it, so just go ahead and accept it. And this is why we want you to break out of that capitalist mindset. See, in the kingdom, you own nothing. If you own nothing, you can't lose nothing. And that's the beauty of understanding that. Because, I share the story of in 2008, I lost a business. I think 5 or 10 years after that, I had another business that was producing, lots of money. And I got a text from the landlord saying we sold the building. So that was like, anywhere between 10 to 20 something thousand a month. That was per month that was gone in income. And it didn't, no, 2008, it crushed me, right? Crushed my soul because I wasn't here mentally. I wasn't thinking there. But 5 years later, when the next one hit, I was like, oh, okay, what do we do next, God? What's next, right? Because I understand, like, once you go through something and you get through it, and you get and you get these principles in you, you realize it was just a season. There was something that you needed to learn in that lesson, something you needed to do better. So you just keep moving on. So you are brought up in a culture, if this is you, just like most people, and you are trained to think ownership. Let me know if that's the case for you. Drop it in the comments. Say, yes, I was. And when you think ownership, you think somebody can take it from you. Or I get that question a lot. Well, what about the competition? Like, first of all, there is no such thing as competition. The only person that you're competing with is yourself, because there's always someone new on the scene, someone different on the scene, I should say, that will do something better than anyone else. For those of you who are watching this on Facebook, you can think of Mark Zuckerberg before he, took the resources that were already here and had the idea of Facebook and took that to a whole new level. It was MySpace, and it was just for a little niche of people. But look what he did with those resources. So what if he would have been like, oh, well, MySpace is here, so I don't want the competition. No. All right. So I'm saying that, and I want you guys to get out of that habit. Or I have this idea. Like, I get this so much. I have this idea, but I don't want to share it because what if someone steals it? First of all, if you got an idea and God gave you that idea, can't nobody take from you what was yours, right? And anytime you hear yourself thinking or saying things like that, you're not in the kingdom mindset. And you fix it. You know what I always say? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You have to check that. See, the whole culture is built on capitalism. This is like United States, we're built on capitalism. And I used to think, yes, that was a good thing until I understood that meant that I'm trying to accumulate it for myself. But if I'm in a kingdom mindset, I'm already wealthy. And everything that's there is there for us to be able to help other people and utilize it. And the ideas and the things that we get are given to us based on our ability. It's just an amazing place to be. And I want to take you there with us. And this is why money is so important to understand. And you also want to understand the culture clash, because there's stuff that's clashing, that's knocking people off track. And unless you take the time to get it, it can ruin you. See, the capitalist culture is built on two ideas. One is independence, and two is personal ownership. And both of these concepts, they are anti-kingdom, y'all. It's anti-kingdom. This is why people get so stressed out when it comes to building their business, and they're chasing money, and they can't sleep or rest and be at peace when they're taking that idea and they're making it happen, because they're focused and worried about the wrong thing. See, I'm going to show you from scripture, not from my word, why God keeps money from people who are that culture class mindset. And, if your focus is to be a capitalist, you want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. It is a whole different way of thinking, and I want you to get in this way of thinking. Matthew 6:19 and 21, it says, Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Now, a lot of people look at that and they think, okay, well, I can't save money, or I shouldn't put money inside, or I shouldn't invest money. No, that's not what that's saying at all. So if you think, okay, I want to make $10 million, right? So if you think I want to make $10 million, so that, okay, so here, I want to make $10 million so I can go buy, a mansion, cars, blah, 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 blah. That's the wrong thinking. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to go buy those things and have those things. Yes, you can have those things. But if your mindset is, I want to make $10 million so that I can then take that money and be able to help, create some more businesses, or be able to help these group of people, or be able to make a change and use it for this policy and put it in the system so that we can get things better. You see the difference there? It's what your intentions are and what you want to do with the money that you have, and where your heart is, leading. That's the biggest difference there. See, am I making sense? Let me know in the comments if you're getting this. If you have an aha moment, put yes, aha, something in there. Give me a thumbs up and let me know that this is resonating with you. See, here is how to destroy, okay, ungodly thinking about money. Now, I told you some of the things that you don't want to think about. So now I want to show you how to get rid of that thinking, that stinking thinking, and how to change your thought pattern so that you can become and do the things that you were put here on earth to do. See, most people on earth are trapped in a system that encourages the belief that you own everything. It is that very belief that's keeping things from you. Ask God to break that thought from your mind. It starts there. Just simply ask Him to break that thought from your mind. See, most were brought up and trained to think that way, that like this is how we were taught, either in our homes or by the people that we hung out with, or from churches, and just places like that, like religious minded. And you gotta rewind. You gotta stop, call a time out. You gotta call a time out in your life. Pull out that clipboard and start sketching. I always say your personal syllabus, and putting together a game plan in whatever areas that you need help on. And that's where you want to get help at, right? That's where you seek those wise counsel so that you can change that. That's what these memberships are for that we have. That's what these academies are for. This is where we have the systems where we do it for you. All of that is built to help you to be able to change your thinking and change your life, and most importantly, do it all for the kingdom. So just ask God to destroy your ungodly thinking, anything that you negatively think about money. See, you can't help that thought that comes in your head, but guess what you can do? You can replace it with another thought. If you study the brain, you'll find out that you can literally have only one thought at one time. So when these negative thoughts and ideas get to coming in your head and it makes you want to do this, just don't let it come out your mouth. And how you get rid of that thought is you just start repeating over and over and over again what you want to think. You could say something as, I'm a kingdom citizen. I'm a kingdom citizen. I'm a kingdom citizen. And then once you say it about 7 to 10 times, all of a sudden that negative thought, that ungodly thinking that you have about money and negativity is gone. You're not even thinking about it. You're on a whole new subject. You don't have to go for years and decades having negative thoughts. You just we call that repetition, right? It's one part of the goal setting and training your mind to think for you, to pull you towards those actions. And then when you start doing things like that and saying scriptures, you got the helper. That's the beauty of being saved. You have the Holy Spirit, the helper in you to remind you and to go to God in utterance with things that you don't even know how to say on your behalf. He's there, or she, It's there. The Holy Spirit is there. Your angels are there. They're there to help you, but you have to be the guy. Like, you have to be the GPS. You have to be the GPS. It's just like you go to your GPS and you put the directions in to where you want to go. You got to say out your mouth and on pad and paper what you want. What you want to think, how you want to think, who you want to become. And when it comes to money, it is so important for you to put the input in so that the right information can come out. So you got to heal your mind from these thoughts and those the things that I just shared with you. Those are some of the ways you can do it. You can post-it notes up. You should have your faith affirmations, right? What you want to say every day. If you say it over and over and over again, especially in the morning when you wake up and before you go to bed at night, but throughout the day, these are the things that will get all of that ungodly thinking about money out of you. So if you're stressed and you're building your business, or you're frustrated, that means you got to get some ungodly thinking out of you. So take some of those and put those into practice and start using them, and let us know how it is working out for you. See, these kingdom money concepts are the most important thing for you to understand if you want to get financially free and you want to get debt free and you really truly want to be a citizen of the kingdom. Proverbs 4:7 says, the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it costs all you have. Like, though it costs all you have. So it may cost you giving up scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or TikTok, or watching videos or watching TV or doing some things. It could cost you hanging out. Though it costs all you have. It says to get wisdom, it costs all. Did it say some? No, it costs all you have. It's a season of sacrifice for every level that you want to go up. You gotta, don't open up Facebook, open up a book, the Bible, and start reading it. Open up other books. This is wisdom. Get around people. Stop being the smartest person in the room. Get around other people who know more than you, that can help you to grow and to think differently. And then after you get that wisdom, because a lot of people can read a book and get some wisdom. A lot of people can go to school and get some wisdom. A lot of people can take some tests and get some wisdom. But then the next thing it says, get understanding. And understanding means that you actually take the wisdom that you got and now you're applying it, and it's showing in your actions, and it's showing in what you're doing. So like this, read a proverb a day, right? I learned that eons ago from my first millionaire mentor. He would make us read a proverb a day. We had to read the entire Bible all the way through every single year, 6 pages a day. It was non-negotiable, because we would meet in the office from Monday through Saturday, pretty much 6 days a week. And as we were working and training and all of that stuff, we would have these discussions as well. So it is important, y'all, to get that understanding. So get wisdom, though it costs all you have. Get understanding. See, the kingdom principle that I'm going to share with you now is the kingdom gives his wealth to his citizens. He gives his wealth to his citizens. The king owns everything in the kingdom and gives his wealth to his citizens to accomplish his purpose. That's the key. He's going to give that to you to accomplish his purpose. In the colony, this next statement is a very, 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 did I say it enough? Important statement. You ready? Y'all ready? Whatever he gives you is not for you. Whatever he gives you is not for you. It's for his purpose. It's for its colony. So it's important that, because that moment that you think what you're receiving is yours, then you lock it up and you stop the flow and you hold on to it and you begin to spend it frivolously and you begin to plan, things that you haven't even thought about what the why you're being given something, why you're having a breakthrough, and what does God want you to do with it. Those are the things that you have to start thinking about and you have to think differently on. Whenever you're thinking that way, that is anti-kingdom thinking. So ask yourself, okay, so now I just, I broke through, I got the wisdom. I went, I took, sales training class, marketing class, advertising class, how to think right class, all of that stuff within Bible Business Academy and the mentorship programs and all of that. And now I got understanding on this. Is all starting to make sense, right? And when that negative thought of, oh, I can go do this, I can go do this with it. No, stop yourself and be like, okay, God, what do you want me to do now? Why did you bless me with this? What do you want me to do with it next? See, because when you think like that, guess what he's going to do? He's going to tenfold, hundredfold what you have. And that's the key right there, to be able to be trusted with the little so that you can be trusted with so much more. Is that making sense? Let me know if that's making sense to you, right? Let me know what you're getting out of this. See, if God cannot get money through you, he won't get it to you. And so that means when he blesses you and he gives you the money, then are you taking it and doing what we just talked about? Are you taking it and using it to multiply? See, I used to think, the multiply means you had to have children. No, that means that you're taking the resources. Go back to Genesis, go back to the money management class, watch those on YouTube. You're taking the resources that he gave you and you're using it to grow. It's even when he, when the earth and all of that was created, he said that he needed to create man so that they can work the ground and multiply it and grow it and give us dominion over it. And that was the purpose. So you got to get back to the original purpose. Once you get it, I promise you, you're like, oh, in your life, in your business, journey and all of that, everything becomes so much more simpler. And that worry and all of that, painful toll that you experience, it is no more. It goes away. Now, will you have challenges? Yes, you're going to have challenges. But guess what? You handle them as a leader and you're equipped and you're ready. So even though it's a challenge, you're not frantic about it. You're not frustrated about it. Understand, and the system that you're in and the system that you need to use. So you take that and you use it in the best way that possible that God wanted you to do. See, anything God gives you, just write that down somewhere. Anything God gives you is to accomplish his purpose. So how can you use what you have to accomplish his purpose? It could be a car. You got a new car, you got your old car, whatever it is. Maybe that car is to pick somebody up, go pick an elderly up and take them shopping, take them to movie, take them to church. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're home, you got an extra spare room that you can share it with someone else. Or maybe your business just made a lot of money. Who can you give back to? See, these are all utilizing, or you got another business idea and you can employ some people and put, and give them an income and help put them to work, and or give them knowledge, give them training. See, this is how you're recycling what he gave you. So this is how he wants to get money through you, right? He want to get it to you so he can get it through you. You want to get it to you so he can get it through to you. And you got to use that. You got to think differently. I promise y'all. I don't know how I can say this where you can get this, but I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will literally change your everyday life once you get this point. It says, as Moses was at pains to point out to Israel, okay? It is God who gives us the power to get wealth. This is what, when they were grumbling, from what the scholars say were like a 2-week journey by foot or by car and 20 to 30 minutes by plane. It like, y'all doing all this complaining, it don't even belong to us anyway. And then you're like, that would be like, you owning something, thinking you own something, or and you taking it from someone else and you don't even own it, but you're worried about it, you're stressed out about it, like, it does not make sense. I'm telling you, once you get that point, you're like, that was silly. That was silly to even think that way. And that's what I want to help you with. I hope I'm getting through to you guys, because I promise you it will change your life. Since all the money in the world belongs to God, none of it belongs to us. So why are we tripping about it? Why are we worried about it? He said, if he feeds the birds, he's going to take care of you. Why worry about that? So we're going to talk about that in a second. All right. It says, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenants, which he swore unto his fathers, as it is this day. So if you're looking at Deuteronomy 8:18 right there, it says, because he give you the power, because he established his covenant, so which he swore. So he cannot lie, and he swore, and he made these promises. So he has to give the people who are able the money and to create wealth and the willing, so that that his covenant can be established. Are y'all getting that? I really, 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 really want you to get that and understand that. See, wealth is for God's covenant. I keep saying that over and over again. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and chapter 8 are important chapters for you to go read and just understand when he was bringing them out of Egypt, what they were going through, what they were thinking, and what they were saying. And then once you get their story, check it against yours, check it against your attitude, right? Check it against how you think, and what you talk about, and what you focus on, and what you're in silent contemplating about. And he said to them, I am your God. It is I who give you the power to get wealth. See, the word power, this is what you got to understand. You got to take this to a whole new level. It's not just reading that scripture. The word power means ability or skill. So if you got power, it's not power to be dominant over somebody or have ownership over them, because remember, you don't own anything. It means ability or skill. So how do you get ability? How do you get skill? So some of it is God-given ability, right? And then some ability is acquired because you're doing the things that you need to do in order to grow. You're taking classes, you're studying, you're reading, you're apprenticing, you're being around people, you're taking all of these things. You want power, get ability and skill. That's what brings you power. He said, I will give you the ability, the power, the skill to get wealth, so that I may accomplish my covenant that I made with Abraham. See, all of that was about him. And that's why he wants to give you the ability, the power, and the skill, because he knows without that, he cannot have his covenant and what he said he was going to do. That can't happen. So, there's scripture says, it's just ask me for wisdom, I give it to you, because I need you to have that so you can go do what I said was going to get done, right? So if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, right? So you don't want to miss your blessing. You don't want to lose your blessing. You want to be able to say that I'm helping God, working with him to get his covenant done. That's exciting. That's more exciting, instead of saying I'm going to own everything. I'm going to have everything. I'm going to, have, bills stacked up. This is where you get all this, the monies, the big chains. I mean, I'm not knocking that. You can do that. But what is the mindset behind that, right? You got to look at the mindset that's behind that. See, a kingdom concept is to ask, what is it for? Write that down. Ask always, when money comes to you, when ideas come to you, when resources come to you, ask, what is it for? See, anytime the king gives you resources, your very, 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 very first question should be, what is it for? If you just start saying that, that's going to change your thinking. Okay, God, you just helped me make, $100,000 a month, $1 million a month. Okay, what is it for? What do you need me to do with it? what how can I help establish your covenant and your word and what you're saying? How do you want me to help you? That changes everything. That's the game changer, y'all. Y'all getting this? Y'all getting this? That's the game changer. Do you think about who it's for or what you can buy with it? Is that your first thought? Like, is that what you're thinking? Or are you going to say from now on, what is it for? Put hashtag what is it for in the comment section to let me know that you're getting this and you are like, okay, I understand. See, because warning, 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 warning. He won't say when you get it, hey, that's my money, right? He ain't gonna say that because God is a God of free will. He's not gonna say that. But when you read his word and you understand what it's here for and what your purpose is and what your passion is and all that, you'll understand just by meditating on reading and coming to things like this, being a part of the memberships, like being around like-minded people who are having this conversation. A kingdom citizen is responsible and accountable. Responsible and accountable to the king for the use and the management of his resources. So if you claim to be a citizen of the kingdom, ask yourself, am I accountable and am I responsible for the uses and the management of the resources that God has given me? See, when you look at what we're talking about and you know that you're responsible for the management of those resources, you know that it's his money, his resources, his ideas that you're managing. And when you think of the Almighty God and how magnificent he is, it makes you think differently because you can waste your stuff that you think is your stuff, but when it comes to wasting his stuff and his resources, you're like, no, I don't play with God, right? That's what you got to say, and you got to be able to say that and believe that and own that, and don't let anyone talk you out of it. I always tell the story. When it comes to like having your mindset and management of who you are, I was visiting somewhere, and I'm not going to even say where, but I was visiting somewhere, and I went to someone invited me to this church, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. So I'm sitting there, and now how I grew up, I didn't see a lot of stuff, right? So many things don't faze me. But when I was in there, they were like, everybody, well, first of all, the preacher was preaching, and then all of a sudden he was like, okay, everybody in the church, you're on holy ground, take your shoes off. So like literally everybody in the church, except for me and the pastor, took their shoes off. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. The next thing they were like, everybody get up and run for Jesus. So everybody got up and ran around the in and out of the church, except for what? Me and the pastor. And then, this was the third time, y'all. Then the third thing that happened was the entire church went up to the front of the church, and then everybody just started like, kneeling down and just, speaking in whatever they, and bowing and screaming and hollering, except for me and the pastor. So the guy, one of the ushers, and the usher, because he came over to me and he said, "Are you feeling it?" And I knew what he was talking about, but I said, "Feeling what?" Right? So anytime you're in a situation, always ask a question immediately because it puts you back in control. This is how you change your thinking and change your mind. So I was like, feeling what? And he reached out his hand and he was like, the Spirit. And I just looked at him and I said, I'm sorry, sir. I don't play with God. Because I knew that if I would have got up and participated in this activity, I would have just been faking it. And I was like, I'm saying to myself, I'm more afraid of God than I am of you. Sorry, sir, I don't play with God. And you know what he said? He said, I understand. And he turned around and walked away. And when he turned around and walked away, I got up and walked out. See, most people would have sat in that situation, got up and did what everyone else because they were afraid of what people would think or afraid of what people would say. This is how you build that mindset up that you are okay, and all thy getteth understanding. It may take everything you have. It may take feeling like you're on an island by yourself. It may take feeling embarrassed. It may take whatever it is to make you feel uncomfortable for a moment. But once you get through it, you can get to it. And this is what God is saying to you, that there's things that you're going to have to go through, but if you can go through them and then you can trust in him and you can believe him, those businesses that you desire to build, and you want to build them for the kingdom and build them with the principles that he has for you, it will change your life. That's why I'm so excited about what we do and how we serve people, and that we were entrusted to be able to do this so that we can help people get through this, help thousands of people change their lives for the kingdom and for God's purpose. See, he owns everything. He gives it to you for his purpose. You're accountable to him as to how you use it and how you manage it. This is a fundamental concept in the kingdom, that you are responsible for the management of those resources. So I want to share, like, guys, I hope you're getting this, because I promise you, some of these points may just like go over, or you might got to go and listen to this over and over again and stop it and rewind it and just listen over and over and over again. And you're going to hear something different every time that you go through this. But that's the key, that you want to be able to do that so that you can get this. So let's talk about it. Everybody knows the story about the 3 servants, right? And most people are the 3 talents, or whatever you want to call it, depending on which version that you're looking at. And this is in Matthew 25. And I think it's important, like, I don't want to use my words to get the point across, because why? Even in the word, it says he wrote it for us so that you can understand this and get this. But I'm just going to point out some things as I read this and go through this. It says, at that time, and if you got your Bibles, pull them out so you can read along with us, right? At that time, God's kingdom will also be like a man leaving home to travel to another place for a visit. Before he left, he talked with his servants. He told his servants to take care of things while he was gone. So I want you to think of that, right there, like, you got your business, right? And you're leaving your business and you're talking to your managers and you're like, okay, I need y'all to take care of these things while I'm gone. I'm gonna be back, but I need y'all to take care of these things. He decided how much each servant should be able to care for. The man gave one servant 5 bags of money. He gave another servant 2 bags, and he gave a third servant 1 bag. Then he left. So if you're running a business, or if you've been the manager of a place, you got assistant managers, you got different level of managers. And that's all that is. Like, your top managers, your assistant managers, your leads, whoever it is, like, that's all you, like, think of it that way, right? You're in charge of this, you're in charge of this, and you're in charge of this. So the brand new one who's just getting new and started, you wouldn't entrust them with the keys to the store, the lock to the safe, the combination to the safe. You wouldn't give that to them, but you might give them, the control of the cash register. You might give them that control in the beginning. So think of that this way. The servant who got 5 bags went quickly to invest the money. So why did he go quickly to invest the money? Because he already had knowledge. He already had skill. He had gone through being that first lead manager to the head lead to the middle management. And now he's at the head management. So he knew exactly what to do with the money to grow it. And that's that person who's had business number 1 or business number 2, or they've been in business for 25 plus years or 10 years, and they've had success and things like that. They know what to do. Once you get these principles down, you know what to do. So he quickly went out and invested it, right? Those 5 bags of money earned 5 more. He knew exactly what to do. Why? Because he had did it before, right? It was the same with the servant who had 2 bags. That servant invested the money and he earned 2 more. Because once you get these principles down and these strategies down, you could just no matter what business you're in, you can multiply that because you know the system, you know how to do it. Even if you have, one location, you go open up a second location, you knew exactly what you had to do in that first location. So it's easy to do it in that second location because all the mistakes were made in the first location, right? Y'all following me? Let me know if you're following me, if that's making sense. See, but the servant who got the one bag of money, he went away, he dug a hole in the ground, and then he hid his master money in the hole. And see, I equate that to somebody like that you're trying to train and you're trying to teach, and you give them a class or you tell them to show up here and they go buy the stuff or they get the stuff and they have it, but they take it and they put it in the drawer, or they never open it up, or they never logged in, or they look at it and say, man, that was too much to read, or that was too much to listen to. That's that person. So if you're that person who go and buy classes or courses, or you join memberships and you don't do the work that's required, that's just no different if you want a cake baked and you go buy all the ingredients, but you don't put the ingredients together and bake the cake. I don't care how many ingredients you buy, unless you do the work to bake the cake, then nothing is going to happen, right? That's just like your business. Unless you do the work for the books that you bought that are on the shelf, that you haven't picked up, that you haven't read, that you haven't highlighted, that you haven't reread, or the classes or the strategies, or none of those things that you've done, then nothing is going to grow. So that is the person who hid the money in the hole. Are you following me here on this Matthew 25, right? And at that time, God's kingdom will also be like a man leaving. See, again, let me point out God's kingdom. We have to get focused on God's kingdom. Will also be like the man leaving home to travel to another place for a visit. Before he left, he talked with his servants. He told his servants to take care of the things while he was gone. Isn't that what Jesus told us? To take care of the things while he was gone, right? He decided how much each servant would be able to care for. See, based on your skill and your ability, your understanding, these are all the things that will, you get all of those things and you seek the kingdom and all of that, everything else will be added into you, right? The man gave one servant 5 bags of money. He gave another servant 2 bags, and he gave the third servant 1 bag. He left. I'm just sharing that with you again, right? And he left, and the servant, the servant who got the 5 bags went quickly to invest them, and those 5 bags of money earned 5 more. It was the same with the servant with 2 bags. The servant invested the money, earned 2 more, but the servant who got 1 bag of money went and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. And after a long time, the master came home. So you're that business owner. Maybe you were gone for 2 weeks, 2 years. I don't know. In most cases, you wouldn't leave your business for 2 years, but I want you to get the point. Maybe you went on an extended vacation. He asked the servants what they did with the money. So there's going to be a time when you're accountable for what you do. He asked them, what did you do with your money? The servant who got 5 bags brought that money and 5 more bags of money to the master. And the servant said, Master, you trusted me to care for your 5 bags of money, so I used them to earn 5 more. That's multiplying. That is being fruitful and multiplying. That's what that is. That is using those resources, having dominion over, and multiplying. Are you getting this? The master answered, you did right. You're a good servant who can be trusted. You can be trusted because you proved it, not because you said it, not because it was all lip service, because you actually have the proof in the pudding, right, of what you did. You did well with that small amount of money, so I will let you care for much greater things. Do you hear that? He said, so I will let you care for much greater things. So if your business is not going the way that you want it to go, if you're not where you're at in where you're at? What are you doing with what you already got? Are you working it every day? Are you seeking wise counsel? Or are you just trying to do it all yourself, figure it out, get what you can get and keep it for yourself? Or every time you get something, you spend it. Guys, trust me, I've been there before. This is, I think, year 27 of me being in business. Of 27 years, I've only worked for someone for that 1 year in 2008 when I told y'all I lost everything. And it has not always been this simple. It has been challenges. It has been frantic. It has been chasing. It has been all of these things that I'm sharing with you. That's why I can share them with you with so much passion, so much zeal, because I know once you get it, your life will change just like it did for me. And then the servant who got the 2 bags of money came to the master. The servant said, Master, you gave me 2 bags of money to care for, so I use your 2 bags to earn more. And the master answered, You did right. You're a good servant who can be trusted. You did well with the small amount of money, so I will let you care for much greater things. And this is the part that you got to hit, that he says in 21 and in 23, come and share my happiness with me. And see, so when you go to compare yourself with other people, you might be comparing their 5 bags with your 3 bags, but it's what you can be trusted with at the time. And every level that he says, I'm going to let you care for much greater things. Are you getting this? So this is why you cannot afford not to invest into learning, into trainings, academies, what do you get, mentorships, events and different things like that. Like, you must be in them at all times. And you should, like, if you're in the coaching, of course, business, you should be giving that. That's what we do here. You know, we have some free ones, and we'll eventually be having some group ones and things like that. You must be around the fire. You must be around that so you can get that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding. That's why that's important, so that you can be given more and you can share in the happiness with God, and his share that happiness. And then the servant who got the 1 bag. Y'all ready for that 1 bag? The 1 bag of money came to the master. The servant said, Master, I knew you were a very hard man. You harvest what you did not plant, and you gather crops where you did not put any seeds. Like, what did he just say? You harvest where you did not plant, and you gather crops where you didn't put any seeds. So this is what people do who waste what they've been given. They begin to talk negative. They begin to put people down, things down, business down, ideas down, programs down. And it's not that the program or the system or the niche didn't work. They didn't work. So instead of them saying that, they began to throw stones, say negative things, do negative things, instead of just saying, my bad, I didn't do what I needed to do. I take full responsibility and blame. And he said, so I was afraid. I went and I hid your money in the ground. And here, you can have a bag. Here's 1 bag of money you gave me. The master answered, like, I really need y'all to hear this, right? It says, you are bad and lazy servant. You are bad and lazy servant. I mean, like, think about that. You have a business and you left everything with, what you gave him, this first manager, and you gave him, the key, maybe the key to the door or the cash register, and he didn't show up on time. He was not there. He didn't open up the store. Your business opened up like an hour late, or nobody even showed up for the whole day, and people are walking back and forth like, yo, are they open? Or you're online and they can't get to your website. Like, all of these things that are going on. Like, this is an example of that. He said, you say you knew that I harvest where I did not plant, and that I gather what I did not put any seed. So you should have at least put put my money in the bank. Like, if you're going to talk trash about me, the very least you could have did was make something happen that day, right? At least open up on time, at least sell something extra. Then when I come home, I would get my money back. So what he's saying to you is, don't lose what I gave you. Don't do nothing with your life. Don't do nothing with your business. Don't be John Average Man. We talk about that in obituary of John Average Man. Like, don't be that person who don't do nothing. It's like, I gave you life and you can't even like do a little bit to make something better of yourself. Like, come on, y'all. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is how you have to look at that. And I would also get the interest that my money earned. Like, God wants to get some interest, right? He wants to see you grow, to see you develop, to see you become who you were put here to become. And that's the whole key with that. So the master told his other servants, take the one bag of money from the servant and give it to the servant who has 10 bags. Everyone who uses what they have, you hear this? Everyone, not just someone, not just, tall people or people or male or female or black or white. Like, no, everyone. He said, everyone who uses what they have will get more. They will have much more than they need. But the people who do not use what they will have everything taken away from them. I've been there. I get that. I understand that, y'all. When you don't manage stuff properly, it gets taken from you. And the graciousness of it, if you've been there or you're in the process of going there, you can stop it right now and you don't have to keep repeating the stuff that you went to. Then the master said, throw this useless servant outside into the darkness where people were crying, grind with their teeth with pain. So you saw, like, you're lazy, you're bad, and throw this useless, like, those are not my words. I'm reading them right out of the word. So I want you to just have that mirror moment. If you follow me, y'all know what I'm talking about, that mirror moment when you just get in the mirror and you look at yourself and you like, okay, am I utilizing the resources that God gave me to the best of my ability? Am I doing what I need to do? Am I seeking him? Am I getting understanding? Am I learning? Am I taking classes? Am I reading books? Am I in the word in the morning, in the night? Am I putting to use the knowledge? Am I getting understanding? Because once you get understanding of a thing, you will do the thing, but you got to get understanding of it. How was that for that? Let me know. What was different? What did you get out of it? Let me know in the comments, y'all. I'm excited to see what you have to say. So let's end this with talking about dominion. Dominion. And again, go back to the management principles so that you can get this. Parables are not literally stories. See, Jesus is explaining, like, well, so what we just talked to you about, that like didn't happen. He just utilized it, just as I did when we read it, so that you can get it, because you understand the business, you understand a retail store, you understand the front manager, the middle manager, the top manager, you understand all of that. When it comes to business, you understand giving them the keys to something and putting them in charge of something. You understand going away. So this is what these parables are for, so that they reach you where you at, so they can take you to where God wants you to go. See, Jesus is explaining to them the kingdom concept, and that God talked about in Genesis chapter 1:26. It says, and God said, let us make man in our own image and our own likeness, and let him have dominion over the fish to sea, and over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that cometh upon the earth. There's nowhere in there says you having dominion over, or you're to rule over any other person. It's the resources that he gave you. The words have dominion are Hebrew for verb rada. Our normal understanding of having dominion over another is to rule over them, but this idea is found in the Hebrew verb malak. The Hebrew verb rada is related to other words which have the meanings of the descend, go down, wander, and spread. Go down, wander, and spread. This verb, okay, literally means to rule by going down and walking among the subjects as equal, so that you can serve them and you can help them, just like Jesus did. He became, and Paul said, I became who I was with so that I can win more people. Not as I'm the big queen or I'm the big king and this is who I am. That's not how you change your life. That's not how you use money. The use of those two Hebrew verbs, you take rada and imply that the man is to rule over the animals as his subject, not as a dictator, but as a benevolent leader. Are you that business owner who's a benevolent leader, who leads with love, who leads with biblical principle, who is doing it so that you can grow God's resources and be like the one with the 5 talents? See, man is also to walk among and have a relationship with this subject so that they can provide for the man and they can learn from him. You learn from people who make you feel comfortable and confident as you're helping them, so that you're using those resources. So I want you to understand all of these kingdom concepts when it comes to money, when it comes to building your business, and you can utilize them. And see, once you get all of this coming to you, then you can take that money and get out of debt, because the word says be in debt to no man, right? Be in debt to no one, owe them nothing but to love them. And these are the ways that you're getting out of that. See, so here is the hidden secret. A person who has property left his property in the hands of his servant. The servants are actually his sons, who happen to be the mankind who God left to manage the earth. He's trying to connect y'all and tell people in that area, in that culture, who know about servants, who know about property. I'm telling it, people who know about business, who understand retail. Everybody understands retail. Something simple. My first 15 years in business and working is what I did, retail, right? He used this scenario that this is likely how they would explain it in Genesis 1:26. So you got to take, when you hear these parables, when you read these stories, you got to relate them to everyday, like today's life, today's world. How can you relate that to the social media and put it on that world? That's how you got to relate all of this stuff so that you can get this. He said, look, God created you, had a piece of property, and told you to look after it for him and then have dominion on earth. He was talking about rulership over his property. Are you going to multiply it? Are you going to be that person who he said, take what he had and give it to him because he did what I said? Or are you going to be that person who took the 5 and multiplied it, right? Are you going to be on the end? Like, can he get it to you and then get it through you? That's the whole key of what we're talking about. And to be continued, right? Because there's so much more that we got to talk about. So I want you to join us next week for part 2 of the money management series. And why do Jesus use money examples? Because the Bible talks more about money than any salvation. I'm just telling you, the Bible talks more about money than anything else. Why? I'm going to tell you why next week. You got to join us. Why money is the most important thing to everybody. People carry it in their purse. They carry it in their wallet. It's always around. They check it first thing in the morning. Money will rule your life if you let it, right? And why is money so powerful and the most powerful thing next to God? Why do people want to serve? Because you can't serve God and money. We already know that, right? We understand, we heard that, but what does that really mean? So we're going to be diving into all of that in part 2 next week, Thursday at 7:00. So I want to make sure that you join me. But guys, you don't have to wait till next week, Thursday at 7, for us to talk and have a conversation. Because if you got questions and you want to get those questions answered, whether it's about something we talked about today, or whether it's about growing your business or your mindset or your thinking, I want you to schedule a strategy call with me. Go to calendarly.com/call Cathy, or you can call me directly at 1-833 Bible Biz during normal business hours. We're on Eastern Standard Time, or you can shoot a text. Either way, we're going to get back to you, right? So go ahead and go to calendly.com, call Cathy, or call 1-833 Bible Biz, and we'll be able to help you out. And you can do this today. Join our membership, join our academy. Go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com for the Done For You program. We got to have a conversation about that, but make sure that you take action so you can get those skills, so you can get those abilities, so you can take these principles that we're talking about and so much more and begin to implement them. Or you can get in our academy if you know you want to get a course. You want to get a system like this set up. That's what we're here to do. So that's like, if you're already managing, you know what you're doing, you can multiply it quicker, and we can help you do that. So go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/go to do that. For, if you're an expert, you're a coach, you're a trainer, you're an entrepreneur or business owner, and you want to get that profitable and purposeful online business started, and you want to do it with biblical principles and marketing strategies, that's your best place to go on that. And then our membership, I'm telling you, that is for that person who is already in the zone, starting to make things happen, and you want to be around like-minded people. You want to have weekly conversations about this, like on Zoom, where you're talking, and then meetups where we're together. You got bronze, you got the silver success solution, or the elite leadership. You can go online to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/membership to learn about those. And then you might be that person with the 5 bags, right? And you're so busy, and the systems are there. And while you're multiplying this one, you want another one multiply, but you don't have the time to do it. Well, guess what? We can do it all for you. And you can learn about the Kingdom Management Enterprise System, where we help you with that kingdom culture, that financial development, help you build that team and that business process. We take you through all of that. So you can book that call at callcathy.com. But don't stop there, y'all. Make sure you go take action. Go do something different this week. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So if you don't do anything different and you expect to have different, it's not going to happen. Don't be that wicked, that lazy servant who did nothing with the resources. Because if you're watching this is a resource that you have been given that can show you how to grow your business, your money, and the ideas that you have. You just have to take action. But I just want to end this with telling you guys, I'm just proud of you for taking the courage to step out on faith and become who you were created to be. When you came out of your mother's womb, God said, even before you got in there, he said he knew the plans that he has for you, to prosper you and for you to have joy and to be a kingdom citizen, to be a part of all of this greatness and the joy of his. And so we're here to help connect you and to be with you and support you and encourage you to make it happen. And you can count on us to do that. And remember, in the beginning, when I told you a gift awaits you, well, we're always changing what's in the box, but we want to send you one out when you join our membership programs. That's what we do, or our academies that are done for you with, not only what you ordered or bought, but some other good stuff. So just go ahead and get into the academies or whatever you need to do, however we need to help you. And I want to know what questions you have. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over there in a second. We're going to look at those. So if you got some, go ahead and start typing those in right now, and we'll be able to get to that. And even if you're catching this during the replay, you can go ahead and put your questions in there, because they're still going to ding to me, and we will get those answered. Again, you can call or text us at 1-833 Bible Biz. If you want to email me, send that to info@CathyMcReynolds.com. And again, memberships, academies, done for you programs, we have it all here for you at Bible Business Academy. The bronze, the silver, the gold, you have the option to get in any of them depending on the level you want. Just go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/membership to get all the details. And if you already know that it's a consultant business that you want to start, or it's a course that you want to start, just go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/go. Everything is set up there for you, ready for you to just take action. And for those of you who want to, you already have that business, or maybe your business is already making $1 million or so plus, and you want to take it to that next level, or you want to create one, and you don't have time to do any of the work and get it set up for you. That's what the Done For You Enterprise Kingdom system is all about. So I hope you got tremendous value out of that. We're excited for you. Let me look over here at the chat and see if we got any questions. Here we got a lot of stuff here. Let's show a few of these. Danetta says, hey, Miss Danetta, says, I'm excited. Thanks for sharing, because you're so awesome. You're so awesome. And definitely. Cousin even popped in. She said, hello, cuz. Thought we'd show you that, right? Listen to. And we got Jameer says, I'm listening to this at work, just what I needed to hear right now. Give all God the credit for that, right? Give God all the credit. And Jameer is from San Diego. What's up, San Diego? I haven't been in California in a long time. And Danetta said to give back to others. So that's in one of the questions that we asked. So that is definitely there. And we also had Janetta said tithing. Awesome. And she said, I love the faith formations, right? Love the faith formations. Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about. And I love this statement right here. I need more wisdom. Man, Joel Kelman, hello to you too, buddy. Like this, that was one of my first mentors that I got online, that I took one of his classes. I mean, like, he taught me so much, and have an amazing company. I think they have like 80,000 customers or something. They probably over 100,000 right now, but Joel is awesome, y'all. Love Joel. And we got Betty Blake there, says, need to hop on a prayer call. We'll come back later. All right, well, we'll see you when you get back there, y'all. But I don't see any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and move this over, and we're going to, let's go here, just send you some more reminders. You can get a free report. In that free report, we literally talk about some of these money management principles that I'm talking to you about, and how to grow your business. So make sure you check that out. You can also remember to go pick up a copy of our believeandgrowrich.org. Get your copy of that, and make sure you go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/book and pick up your copy of your book. Just cover the shipping handling. You can get both of those over at Amazon. And as I said so many times, you can get our membership or our academy. And then just, if you got questions, put them in there, and we will get back to all of those questions. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you got tremendous value tonight. And I want you guys to have an awesome day. And we will see you next week. But I look forward to talking to all of you during the week, so that we can help you get those questions answered. All right. See ya.